Okay, video on the fastest way to be embodied. I'm walking in the park today. I hope it doesn't make you too dizzy. Just turn off the video if it does. First of all, I'd say the question is a problem in a way, in that if the attitude is, I'll get there really fast, you won't, you'll get there slower. There's some old sort of martial arts analogy about this, you know, like someone says, how long will it take to get my black belt sensei? And it says 5 to 10 years. And he says, what if I try really hard? He says, then 10 to 15 years. So this idea of moving, it's like, say, an analogy would be romance, you know? If you push it too hard, it's not going anywhere. So I'd say, first of all, just concerned with that question. That being said, I also, on another level, think it's a very fair question. Like, we want to be successful in this enterprise, and, you know, it's a fair question in that it's not an abstract thing, so why not be successful in it? Okay, so here's what I recommend to people. A macro practice that's slow and involves feeling several times a week, like yoga. So if you were really committed, 4 or 5 days a week, 2 hours at a time, 1 to 2 hours would be a macro practice. Micro practices sprinkled throughout the day, so 5 to 10 times a day, little just moments of feeling the body. You know, I've just been in a heavy museum about Nazis, and it's really good to just stop and feel, even like that, for 1 second. 10 seconds is good. 10 seconds will actually feel quite a long time if you're in the middle of your workflow. Meditation practice in the morning, definitely a meditation practice in the morning as a starter to your day. Key thing though is also being in the natural world, or in my case the park today, spending as much time as you can in nature. Also who you're around. So I'm about to have lunch with a load of embodiment teachers. This is very, very helpful in being more embodied oneself, is to spend time around people who are embodied. Bodies learn from bodies, we influence each other. So we have the environments you're in, we have the people you're around, we have the practice, the macro and the micro practices. Also just generally like lifestyle, building it into your washing, your eating, you know, this general, like my everyday embodiment course type stuff. Daily life is the key thing here, okay? Several intensives a year, so several retreat type situations, say, you know, 2 10-day retreats a year, preferably 3 actually, something like that. That could be Aikido camp or meditation retreat or whatever. Not too hardcore though, sometimes like the Vipassana and stuff, it's like it's too much. So a little bit more chilled than some people might recommend for when I say intensives. And trauma work, doing your own trauma healing, so that's a major barrier to embodiment. And lastly, some limits around your technology use. It's been an Achilles heel for me at times. So they're the main things I recommend to people. So on the one hand, I'd be cautious of that question, but on the other hand, it's a very fair question. So I wanted to give it a fair answer. So I hope that helps.